Hey guys, what's up? I need to ask you guys a quick question. If you are, or if you went to school, have you ever had an annoying teacher? I mean, just somebody who's just like, you just dread going to their class. You're like, I have Mr. Jerry next hour. Dang it. Or just teachers that are just mean, or they despise all human life except themselves. Well, I'm going to describe some experiences I had with that. So, the first story takes place in the second grade. I don't know how I remember this, but I do. Okay, so I'm just sitting in class, probably doing whatever a second grader would do, probably like reading or something, I don't know. So I'm just sitting there, I'm just sitting there like writing on a paper or something. I was probably like coloring or something. But the thing is, I didn't have any other pencils. I only had this one, and I'd been using it for a long time. And I'd sharpened it so much that it was really small, it's like a little piece of wood that I used to write. But I had been using this for a long time, and I liked it. It was a cool, I got emotionally attached to this pencil. It was my pencil, you know. But I'm using it, I'm writing, I'm having a good time, I guess. But then my teacher notices that I'm using a small pencil. And she's like, can't let that happen. So she strolls over to me, and without saying a thing, I'm still writing with the pencil. She snatches it out of my fingers, walks over to the trash can, throws it away. All the while I'm just sitting there staring at her like, Dude. And I despised that teacher after that. She threw away my prized pencil, okay? That was my pencil. And she just snatched it up, threw it away. And I was like, well, that stinks. I mean, why would she do such a thing? What did I ever do to her? I didn't do anything. She just came up to me and took my pencil. Why do you do these things to me? So this second story, before I start off, has been requested by a friend of mine. I won't say his name, but you know who you are. Me and this friend of mine, we had a class together in it was in the 6th grade. And it was with I'll just call her Miss B. So, Miss B was especially notorious for hating all life on Earth. You know, I'm just exaggerating, but she did not like anybody. She did not like any of the students or any of the teachers. But we had fun. I mean, just messing with her and stuff. I didn't mess with her myself, but oh, did some people mess with her. This is one experience that a friend of mine, this friend, requested that I tell you guys. So, I'm in class, I'm doing whatever we were doing that day, probably homework or something, but we're sitting there, and this friend of mine, let's just call him Michael, he is especially not liked by Miss B, just because he doesn't like her either. But he's there doing his work too. And then it gets to a part of the class when she's standing up in front of the class lecturing us or something. But then Michael decides, hey, I should do something right now that will be remembered forever. So he's sitting there listening to her, and he puts up his hand and asks her a question. Hey, Miss B, do you have a friend named Jack? And Miss B says, well, no, I don't have a friend. I don't have a friend, Jack, but I do know somebody named Jack. And then Michael pops this question, the most famous question of all time. If your friend Jack was on a horse, then would you help your friend Jack off a horse? She exploded. She was just like, get out now! And he left. But everybody would remember that day forever until we forgot and were reminded lately. Thanks, you know who you are. But that's going to be it. If you have any personal experiences of just terrible teachers, annoying ones, mean ones, whatever else could be used to describe a terrible teacher, then leave it in the comments below, and maybe subscribe. Don't if you don't want to. And would you help your friend jack off a horse?